Hi, folks. Thank you for joining us again. This is Sunil Chandy from Christ Episcopal Church, and you're on Food for Thought. And I hope that you're connecting with us this afternoon at 12 o'clock. And if you are here for this live program, that you tell us that you're here. Tell us that you're watching and how you're enjoying this experience. I know that we're right in the midst of new mandates in Rhode Island, and so uh, this online ministry is going to be important as we continue to connect through the day and everything. And of course, we have a wonderful guest who's going to be with us today as we engage in our conversation on food for thought. And I'll introduce him in a second, but I think he's amazing, and so I'm looking forward to having this conversation with him. And part of this conversation really is something that's actually appropriate for us as we start to think about this holiday season and how we approach it. In the readings that we have in the Episcopal Church, and also in many denominational and non-denominational churches, all of these readings center in this holiday time around the birth of Jesus. And the birth of Jesus, there are a couple of different themes that are going on. There's the birth of Jesus. There's the people who are coming to John the Baptist in the Jordan. There's also in the Old Testament readings that remind us of the journey or the people who are about to go into exile. In the Old Testament, the Judah and Israel, who was already in exile, and there. So it's really all about journey throughout this whole time. As we think about how God is coming in this moment to us. He's what we get in Scripture in this time period, in this Advent season, as we approach Christmas, and even as we move from Christmas onto Epiphany, we get this idea about journeying along the way. And the journey is something that is important for people of faith, because we're on a metaphorical journey to the kingdom of God. We're moving forward into the future, moving into this from the present into the future, and a future in which God has firmly established on earth, where there'll be joy and hope, justice and fairness, where there be compassion and love as the law that undergirds all of our relationships. And so, and it's seen especially in this nativity story of Jesus, right? Jesus, Joseph, and Mary, even before Jesus is, or just as Jesus is conceived, once they find out that Mary is pregnant, the nativity story is about how they go on a journey. They're forced to go on this journey to Bethlehem, right? They're forced to go back to their town of heritage in order to be counted in a census, in order to be taxed. And so it's the powers that be that put them on this journey. And of course, it's on this journey that they find community, and they find help, and this new couple of Joseph and Mary build this relationship and start the dream of having a young family, and with Jesus coming in their midst. And then, of course, after, there are other people on the journey too, right? There's the shepherds who hear the song of the angels, and they journey into Bethlehem to see when the child is born. There's also magi, or wise men, who are journeying from the east because they see the star. They see that God is somehow rearranging the celestial beings in order to come into his human history, and they realize the sacredness of this moment, and so they gather together and they journey from the east, and all to get to Bethlehem. And then, of course, even after Jesus is born, there's the journey into Egypt, and how this baby is protected by the people he loves, and they journey into Egypt, and then they come back, and And in the Old Testament, during this time, there's that story of there's the journeying of the people of exile who have been conquered and overcome, and they move over into Babylon from Judah, the nation of Judah, and they look forward to coming back to their home, and they look forward to the journey back home. The Bible is filled with this idea about journey, and part of this reminds me that it's not really the journey that is or it's not really the destination that's so important. It's actually the journey that is. And the person that we'll be talking with gave me this wonderful thought. Journey as destination. The journey that we're on is just as important as the place we end up, because when we're on this journey, we're with people. Jesus was with Joseph and Mary, and there were angels, and there were shepherds, there were wise men. The people of Israel, when they journeyed back or into exile and then back out of exile, they were with each other. They had family and friends, and they also understood that God was journeying with them, right? We're on a journey together, and that journey can be challenging. It can be filled with peril and danger, but it's made bearable and sacred and holy and joyful when we're able to relish the journey, the actual journey, relish the connections we make, the encouragements that we have, and we'll get to where we need to be, and we'll be joyful then too. But it's really about this time and being present to this moment, and to find joy and hope and peace and learning and insight and connection. That makes it all the more powerful. My wife and I have been on a journey. We've been trying to get into shape and exercise, and I think this is an important journey that we're on, because we're in the midst of a global pandemic, right? And how healthy you are helps you to survive this pandemic, right? And not only that, there's also we've been on this journey to fitness and health, and we're connecting with each other, and we've been connecting with our personal trainer, and that's Jason Stevenson. And Jason has a company called Thrive Training, and he's been helping us, and he's been giving Simi and I insights along the way, and it's been powerful. And I just wanted to share my experience of him with you all who are watching. So Ben, please invite Jason Stevenson on. Hey, Jason, how are you?
I'm great, Sunil, my friend. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I love seeing you. I love seeing you smile, and then you make us work out so hard. It's hard.
But we laugh,
Yes.
and we talk.
Yeah.
And you definitely work out. Definitely work out. It's hard. You guys work your butts off for me, man. I'm super grateful for the opportunity to be a part of your life. I really am.
Yes, yes. Early in the morning, 7:30, sometimes at 5:30 in the morning.
We start early, but you got to get it in. You guys do a great job of prioritizing your health.
Yeah.
And it's not every day. Nobody's perfect, right? We just get in what we can. But you've done an amazing job, man. I really love training the two of you. It's a blast.
Oh, it is. It's so good for us too, because all along the way, it's not only the workout, which is we enjoy. I mean, it's really tough, right? but like after we come out of it, both Simi and I were saying, wow, we thank God for the workout, for you, and for being able to be together and to be able to move and to get in shape. And and the thing is, you give us insight along the way. I mean, I love these little things you just throw out there. And so it's just beautiful.
We're on the same page, sir. And we're in the same business as far as helping people get their head in the right place.
Yeah.
Because in this world that we live in, this chaos of this world, especially this capitalistic society of our celebrations of our holidays right now, it's so important to stay focused on the things that are truly important. and not what social media and not what the corporations and not what society tells us to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That you talking about that journey as the destination, man, makes my heart warm, buddy.
That
Makes
was you.
my heart warm. That's not me.
Well, yeah. Well, you know what? You framed it as that way. I've been thinking about it. This Monday when we worked out together, you put it out there. It was this week or last week, and you put it out there, and then I started to think about it. Of course, this is it resonates with deep wisdom in all of religious traditions, but especially in our Christian religious tradition. So that's why it was so important to me.
That has always resonated with me for the same reason. I use it. You hear me say it because oftentimes we'll do a movement where traditionally people are focused in completing the movement, right? Like, so I get this done. I've done 12 reps or however many the recommended number is, but then we're not focused on what we should be or could be, right? To get better benefit from it. So I try to slow down movement sometimes for you guys or everybody, put on a timer and say, just focus on your body, stay present in the moment. And this is a journey as the destination exercise. And you've heard me say that so much because it's such a part of my vernacular, but I'm really grateful for the fact that you guys heard that and it resonated powerfully beyond the gym, right? Because that's the whole point you just made.
Yeah.
We're so caught up, especially this time of year. Everybody's caught up in the hustle and bustle. This is a beautiful time of celebration. We should be saying Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays to people and holding doors open for them and focusing on the moments with people and not getting caught up in all the craziness.
Yeah. It's not about just getting the check off on the list, getting it done, because then you don't relish the moment, right? Oh.
Yeah. Well, it's about balance. Sometimes our life gets complicated, right? There's a lot going on. And I've found that, especially with workouts, which is my world, which applies though to the rest of your life, that when you can slow down a little bit and focus on the moments, you have a richer life. You have better relationships. You have better conversations. Everything you do gets better when you can slow down and be present.
Well, it's true. And then that's one of the reasons why when Simi and I were trying to figure out how to do this thing, we said, okay, we've got to do it together. Get some, and you gave us that opportunity. I mean, so when we're doing exercises together, exercises where there's not only competition, but you also have to do a little bit of like like teamwork type of things. I mean, there's this one thing that you made us do that I kind of like really I struggled with, was this idea of like doing a plank and then touching, slapping each other's we call hands as we're facing each other. It was beautiful. I mean,
that's a great example of how you can work really well together in a focused movement, because while you are a little competitive with each other, which is a good thing, right?
He is so competitive. He is so competitive.
All it takes is a little bit of everybody on your marks, get set, go. But you also are able to recognize how you can help each other in those moments, right? So while you two are pushing on each other a little bit to make it harder, you're also encouraging each other. You guys are great together.
Oh, I love it.
You should here's a nice compliment for you. Take this as such. I don't train everybody as couples. There are some couples that I would not train together. They just don't work well together. It's a testament to the two of you, how much you love each other and how much you support each other and how much you give each other space in the relationship to be who you are, that you can work out together. Because there's definitely people that I've said, look, maybe we should do one-on-ones.
Maybe you should go into the other side of the room.
I'll see you Friday. All right. But that's because I can be honest about what's best for you, right? It's mind, body, and spirit. And you guys are really covering the bases, man. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I really do. And Simi does too. The other thing is also, I wanted to bring Ben into the conversation. Ben, I know Ben may not want to come up, but he's the one who referred you to me. I think, and he's been on his own journey as well. And so I've just been inspired by him. And when he told me that he's starting to do a lot of this stuff with you, I was, I said, this is the type of person I'd like to have a conversation with. And then this is the type of person I want to have in my life, that type of
Yeah.
thing.
Well,
And
thank you
so,
for that.
yeah, but I got to give a shout out to Ben, our producer of the show. He's the one who kind of helped us connect in this way.
So it's a positive, but you can blame him too. You wouldn't have to be up as early doing burpees with me and sled pushes if it
Oh my
weren't for
God.
that.
You know what? And the sled pushes are something I've never done that. I've always watched it on TV or like
Yeah.
even when I was used to play football way back in high school. That was not an easy thing, but I love what you do with it. You put weights on it, and then you have two of them, and it's Simi and I are competing against, and just have to remind her all that I just had a knee replacement, right?
Yeah, she's gone.
She's
You
gone.
guys ready to go? And then boom. That's, the part that I love about what I get to do is I get to help people, right? Like, you're there for fitness. You're there to get healthier, stronger, to focus your life in a good way, positively moving forward. But you can also enjoy the journey, right? Like, you don't have to hate every second of it. It doesn't have to be miserable. I try to tell people all the time, if you don't like what you're doing for fitness, then stop.
Yeah.
Go do something else, because
Yeah.
there's so many things you can do that are going to be good for you, that are going to be helpful, functionally strengthening, that you can find those options. And you're not going to love every second of it. You're sweating, you're breathing hard. It's hard to do, but you can have a good time doing it.
Yeah.
And that makes it go better. You come out of it feeling amazing. You're awake, you're ready to tackle the rest of the day. And there's nothing else you're going to do in your life that's going to be harder than what I make you do at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah. The other thing is also, we're in the midst of this holiday season, right? And then people, one thing that you keep reminding us is, so we come with you at the beginning of the week usually, and then if we have to change it, we
right?
change it to the end of the week. But you remind both Simi and I at the end of our session together. You say, well, what are you going to do for the rest of the week? How are you going to eat? When are you going to plan out your workouts? Life is busy. This is a chaotic time. I mean, whether it's in the holiday season or not, when are you going to do this? And so it's kind of like it forces us to kind of think and plan and strategize a little bit. Where did you get that idea from? I mean,
Well, it's the same thing that you talked about earlier. As far as getting somewhere on a journey, right? You have to have a roadmap. You got to have a plan. And I talked about this for the last couple of weeks on my podcast, about how to get through the holidays. And Ben argued with me a little bit about it, because the title for the podcast was "How You're Not Going to Survive the Holidays,"
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
because you're not going to just survive it. If you just react to life, then you're going to just barely survive it. But for me, that's not the goal. Our goal could be and should be that you thrive, that you are achieving success through your life, that you are feeling amazing afterwards. So for me, having a plan for your fitness is a definite, right? Like, without having a plan, then when I talk to you next week, you're going to say, I didn't work out.
yeah,
I ate like crap. There's going to be stuff that falls away, and nobody's perfect. But if you start your day with a plan for what you're going to achieve, if you start your week with a plan for what you're going to get in, if you start the next week and a half of the bustle of holidays with like thoughtfulness about, I'm going to go for a walk, I'm going to meditate for 5 minutes, I'm going to get some fruit in my belly before I go to that Christmas party, then at least you're going to feel better than just getting through.
yeah,
I mean, how many parents don't get a lot of sleep because they're shopping and wrapping gifts around the holidays? We're going out to Christmas parties. You're spending extra time decorating and doing things for the holidays for other people or for your family. And then you sideline your own self-care.
yeah.
It's no surprise that there's this boom in the fitness industry in January, because everybody took care of themselves like absolute crap for the last couple of weeks. And now January comes and they think, oh, now I should take care of myself.
Yeah.
Well, that's just catch up. That's hard.
Yeah.
Like you trying to do penance is hard, right? Like it's easier to act with kindness than it is to ask for forgiveness,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
it's easier to smile at people than it is to be moody.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a better life out of that. You're going to have better results with your fitness. You're going to have better results with your holiday experience. And your life is just going to be better.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
love that.
I just want you to be successful anyway. I don't want to have that conversation with everybody. Like, oh yeah, last week was terrible. I didn't eat right. I didn't work out. Well, that gets redundant and then nothing's working.
Yeah.
Right. So if I help you, hopefully we get further.
Yeah, no, and it's good. I remember, like, I remember when we first started. I think, like, I think we're about 3 months, a little bit over 3 months now. I
Oh,
think.
easily.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, we start in the summertime.
Yeah, in the summertime, right? And I feel so much more stronger and fitter. I mean, you know, I remember I couldn't even do a push-up before. I felt, and even like recently, like about a week ago or 2 weeks ago, you had us do like 15, 20 push-ups. I was in my mind, I was a little afraid. I was like, oh, my shoulders are hurting. I don't know if I could do it. And then like all of a sudden, 15 comes up and it's finished. It was just beautiful. I was like, and a lot of the fears, or anxieties I had were kind of going out the door because we're engaging, we're doing this, we're moving our bodies, and it feels great. It feels really good.
It's similar to what you do. I was talking to somebody about that this morning. We need leaders in our lives, and we have to trust them, have faith in them.
Yeah.
Your community looks up to you as a leader. They have faith that you're going to guide them spiritually. When you have faith in what I do and you do what I tell you to, it'll work.
It'll work. It'll work. Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, but you have to have faith. You have to believe in your leaders.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to pick good leaders, obviously, but you
Yeah.
have to have faith and
Yeah.
then follow the plan.
Follow the
Right?
plan. I love also, like, it's interesting. Sometimes you think it's an all and nothing kind of situation where it's black and white. Either you work out or you don't. Either you can do the 30 minutes or 45 minutes or an hour and a half of workout, or your day is not good, right? But what you also helped us to understand that even if you go 5 minutes out in the morning, 5 minutes, or you just do something, stretch, and then do what you can, and then come back and do it the next day because it's still positive. That was a good insight for me too.
Well, you know that life doesn't function in the black and whites, right? Like life functions in the grays.
Yeah.
The black and whites are the extremities. They're like yes and no, but there's a lot in the middle, and you can create amazing things with a lot in the middle.
Yeah.
And it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
That was one of the other pieces that we coached over these last couple of weeks on the podcast, because people are used to getting in their regular habit. I can go to the gym for an hour, 4 days a week, but then I've got this Christmas party. I've got to go shopping and now I can't. So now I don't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. That's it. Like you can't go for an hour. Now I do nothing. How's that help?
Yeah.
You gotta accept the fact that some days are going to be better than others. Some days you're going to have more time than others. And you're always going to stay focused on what helps keep the habit. Yeah. Then you keep going. Yeah. Then you can keep it up, because that's what happens. People lose these 4 weeks. Like between Thanksgiving and Christmas is traditionally the slowest time in the gym industry. And then in January, it picks back up again because people took off the last month and a half. And then they come back in January, hot and heavy and out of shape.
Yeah.
And if all you did was walk for 10 minutes a day or just stretch once a day, do 10 sun salutations, you wouldn't feel terrible every day.
Yeah.
And that's all it takes. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Connect to your body is the big one.
Yeah.
Right. Like connect to your body.
Yeah. And this reminds me of what, you and I are going to be working on a special project with a group of other folks. I've connected with you also, like my chiropractor. We have a dietitian that we'll work with, and then I have like a number of friends who are therapists. And one of the things that I've been hoping to do, especially with this food for thought thing. And I know that you have your own podcast, podcast. But I'd like on Fridays we were talking about this idea on in the new year, beginning this thing called Fitness Fridays. Where we'd have like a 20-minute conversation with with you once a month, and with chiropractor, the dietitian, and a therapist, kind of to round out this experience, and then of course beginning anything and everything, ending everything with prayer for my community, and then just trying to see if over 6 months we see transformations. We hear of transformations. We see pictures of people, and I'm excited about it. I hope that you are too.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
I think we'll be able to give some people some real good insights and hope, because I think part of the healthcare situation we have with COVID. I mean, COVID is a virus that can be passed on to us, but how virulent that virus could be depends really on if we're obese, if we have hypertension, if we have diabetes, all of those things. And we could do whatever, if we get active, it could help mitigate some of those complications, the complications for the virus.
Oh, for sure. They've proven over years that the cause of death that is the highest rate in our country is preventable.
Yeah.
It's food related illnesses that we can fix, and
Yeah.
that's a choice, and I agree with you. I think that the more that we can communicate about the overall picture of health, as opposed to just I exercise or I eat what I'm supposed to, like if I'm a vegetarian but I don't exercise, or if I exercise and I don't watch what I eat, or if I don't meditate, if I'm not spiritual, if I'm not paying attention to my community, you're missing the boat. You need all of it. There's these cogs in the wheel that create a whole mind and body quality of life and health that is successful. Because you're right, you're absolutely right. They've proven over the last like 18 months, most of the comorbidities that are involved in people having real hard times with this COVID are actually something that is preventable, because most of it is exercise and food based.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame, but hopefully we can get more people to get fit,
Yeah.
and really engage, and then of course relish the moment of exercising. I mean, doing push-ups, pushing a sled, squats with weight.
Right?
Yeah, no, it's great. I love it. I love it.
It's good. And that's a great way to look at it, man. You just got to stay in the moment, enjoy it,
Yeah.
be grateful, right? Be
And
grateful for the opportunity.
And I am grateful for our relationship, Jason. I think Simi and I are just so happy that we developed the friendship with you, and we're looking forward to this new year as we continue to grow in health and connect with you. I think it's really great.
The feeling is mutual, my friend. The feeling is mutual. I'm very grateful.
Yeah. Well, God bless you, and thank you for being with us for this show, and then we're looking
course.
forward to the next one. The
Absolutely.
next.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you, Sunil. You have a great day, my friend. I'll see you guys soon.
Okay. Bye. Jason Stevenson from Thrive Training, and so he'll be doing a thing with us as we continue into the new year. This idea of Fitness Friday, in which we might even bring in some dancing in there too. So we're going to try and figure it all out. But I hope that you will connect with us and find the wisdom of being on a journey and enjoying that journey, and not just worrying about the destination necessarily, but enjoying the people and the things that you learn on a journey, so that you could find hope and joy in that experience. So it is our time for us to end right now, and as is our tradition, we will end with a prayer. This is it's a prayer adapted from one written by Bishop Thomas Brown of Maine. The Lord be with you. Let us pray. Jesus Christ, you traveled through towns and villages, curing every disease and illness. At your command, the sick were made well. Come to our aid now in the midst of the global spread of the coronavirus. Heal those who are sick with the virus. May they regain their strength and health through quality medical care. Heal us from our fear, which prevents nations from working together and neighbors from helping one another. Be present with those in authority who are making hard decisions. Support the medical professionals, emergency responders, counselors, and caregivers. We ask this all in your name, Jesus. Amen. Join with me in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Friends, go in peace to love and serve God. Spread the light of Christ, the light of hope and joy to the world around you, relishing the journey that we're on, so that you may pass that light of love and relishment to the world around you as well, because the world needs light right now.
Thanks for watching. Did you know that you can join Christ Church from anywhere in the world? If you're feeling connected to what we're doing, email us today at communicate@christchurchwesterly.org.